Welcome back, TTS Daily Friday edition with me, Yi. Been a while, so let's kick things right off. Okay, first up in Japan, a 46-year-old unemployed woman has been arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. So basically, she threw spray cans and pottery-like objects, including a piggy bank and a vase, from her 10th floor apartment balcony. Literally killer litter. Objects were thrown by her towards students on a tennis court at an adjacent high school. I'm guessing they were playing tennis or making some kind of noise, or could they even be playing paddleball? Anyway, the items landed extremely close to students but thankfully caused no injuries. This happened on November 18, 2025 around 9:30 AM in the morning at Osaka City, Yodogawa Ward, Japan. Okay, a bit more context. She was then traced by police because she actually made a call to the school complaining about noise. She was also identified through witness statements and area investigations, and the statements to police were such as, "The students were so noisy, I wanted to shut them up. I wanted to silence the students, so I threw them with the intent to unalive." These were the suspect's statements to the police. Once again, she is Miki Nogami, age 46 years old, unemployed. This video is going viral right now, where a Brazilian tourist can be seen introducing the Japanese delicacy she's eating. This is supposed to be at Tsukiji, Japan, a tourist spot where people are claiming is Japan no longer a safe place, where a pickpocket now has been accidentally filmed. You can see the man right here had to rewatch a few times because it happened so quickly. He covered his hands with a black jacket and he reached out into the victim's backpack. That is why I'm super bearish on backpacks. Do not carry your backpacks on your back at, tourist spots. You're just asking to be a victim this way. Put your valuables in another sling bag to the front, or carry your backpack to the front like a front pack. Anyway, the comments are on fire. They're all heated up, arguing over the nationality of the pickpocket. I mean, let's not dwell over the nationality. Pickpockets exist everywhere, all around the world. A man in China just lost all his life savings, and it's because of live streamers. Live streamers doing PK battles. And the best part, he wasn't even a viewer. It was his wife who actually spent 670,000 yuan. That's about 94,000 USD by his wife tipping male live streamers. She claims, first of all, that she have never met them in real life in person, but she got carried away during such PK battles that because she wanted them to win, and she got too over enthusiastic that she tipped over 670,000 yuan. So in total, the life savings has been supplied by the man, the husband, by putting all marital savings into fixed-term bank deposits under his wife's names to give her a sense of security. In total, he lost about 1.16 million yuan, about 163,000 USD. And besides that, the wife also owes about 80,000 yuan, 11,000 USD in online loans. The other amounts are unaccounted for as to why they are missing. Anyway, the poor husband, Mr. Liu, in Zhengzhou, Henan, China, has been married to the wife for 8 years. He worked and provided income while his wife stayed home, be a housewife to care for the children, and also apparently be enjoying PK live streams with male streamers. So upon checking, Mr. Liu discovered there was not a single cent left in the account, and then the wife could not explain where the remaining money went. As you know, only a portion was accounted for tipping male live streamers. On which platforms, we don't know, but you do know which platforms are popular for such PK battles, huh? So Mr. Liu, the poor husband, expressed deep betrayal as he has suffered outside for years only to be in the back at home. Okay, I think we have to censor the word there. And now he said he's completely dead inside because he still needs to work and support his children and his elderly parents. And he has reported the case to the live streaming platform. No guess for which platform it is. And the platform customer service asked him to submit relevant documentation to confirm and proceed. Not even sure if even refund is a possible avenue here. A vendor at Thailand's Chatuchak red building market has just been shut down. Technically had their lease terminated because they got into a viral confrontation with a customer. It happened on November 16, 2025, and their lease was terminated 2 days later on November 18, 2025 because apparently this video went so viral. There were over 5 million views and enriched community. Basically upset with the vendor because what happened was there was this customer as seen here in the video. What happened was the customer was browsing her family inside the market mall, and then she picked up a metal box not shown in the video to show her child, and then the vendor allegedly responded. I mean, you can hear the video later on. I have no idea what they're speaking about, but we will still play the video so you can hear the tone and you'll be the judge of something we'll talk about later. Okay. So the vendor responded something like, "You'll be smarter if you ask first. If you don't buy something, don't touch it. There's a no touching sign right here, can't you see?" The customer then apologized saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I only saw the English thank you sign. I did not see the do not touch sign." And then after this exchange, allegedly the vendor still went to nearby shops criticizing the customer, saying that she had opened the metal box and not closed it. And also the vendor was accused of telling the customer, "If you have no money, don't come here and touch things." So anyway, now people are terribly upset with this vendor. So that's why, as it was claimed, over 5 million views of this video, even though the one that the news team shared with me only had like a few views, so I do not know if there is actually that views. Anyway, so when people asked the vendor apologized, okay, and claimed that the remarks were made jokingly. So once again, I do not know Thai, but let's listen a bit, on how the vendor was still talking non-stop to, whoever was there. The customer already left there. She was talking to the ghost apparition of the customer there. And do this sound like they were made jokingly? Because we have zero context on the language here. We can only use context of the intonation of how she sounds. Does it sound like jokingly? Once again, because it went so viral, the building management had to step in, had formal discussions with the vendor, and then decided to terminate the lease with immediate effect. And the management has apologized for the incident, expressed gratitude for public understanding. Neighbours from Singapore edition. Okay, we gotta mute out the word there. So, Mr. Chu, 88 years old, has a funny habit. He likes to dispose of his rubbish in plastic bags through a pole out his kitchen window and then lifting it upwards to his upstairs neighbour on the 12th floor onto their air conditioning ledge. And he has done so several times, basically harassing his upstairs neighbours. We don't have context here of whether there are some kind of ongoing dispute between them, besides knowing that he's not on good terms with the upstairs neighbours. Wondering, could it be due to noise disputes? Because recently when we cover stories on upstairs and below neighbours, it is always somehow related to noise. So we have no context on that, just wondering out loud. Anyway, the victim, the poor neighbour upstairs, is 60 years old male neighbour who lives directly above. And he has complaints and he's fear for his safety because he's exactly being harassed. Imagine you wake up in the morning and you see a pile of trash in a plastic bag on your air conditioning ledge. So much so that he has to climb over to the aircon ledge, fearing for his health, to remove the rubbish. And this has occurred 18 times. This is way more than I expected. This has occurred 18 times between November 2024 to January 2025. So it's 18 times in like a span of 3 months, with 6 additional more times occurring between June 2025 to August 2025. Wow, so we're talking like 24 times, right? 18 plus 6, 24. Okay. So now, the neighbour, Mr. Chu, 88 years old, has been sentenced on November 20th, 2025. Mr. Chu has admitted that these acts were committed with the intent to cause harm. And the victim even tried calling the police, when he saw this. And imagine calling the police, trying to tell them, "Hello police, someone threw litter outside my unit. No, not the corridor, but the window ledge. And no, not from my upstairs neighbour, but from my downstairs neighbour." It's gonna be so difficult explaining to the police someone threw litter outside your unit and it was actually from your downstairs neighbours, not the corridor, but actually your air conditioning ledge. Okay, so much so that the victim now actually has CCTV footage showing the acts. Actually dedicated a CCTV to monitor his air conditioning ledge now. So now on November 20th, 2025, Mr. Chu, 88 years old, has been fined 3,000 Singapore dollars. And the sentence, if you default the sentence, you are going to go to jail for 10 days. And the judge has stated Mr. Chu's action as deliberate, continuous, threatening and highly antisocial. Mr. Chu asked the judge, please reduce the fine, stating that he has no income and was poor. FAFO, fool around and find out. Okay, this woman in Singapore believes her fiancé is under a love spell cast by a girl from Thailand. This story was shared by the poor lady at SG Dating Scene on Reddit. So anyway, the couple has been together for 10 years and her boyfriend Dan proposed to her on Valentine's Day, thus becoming her fiancé. And then they were having dinner on October 31st. Don't know what day was it. Supposed to be a day of celebration. Not sure what was it. But she claims that during dinner, they had into an argument while everyone else around them were dining happily as a couple. What day is on October 31st? That's Halloween! Okay, so couples go out and celebrate Halloween. So anyway, they got into an argument on Halloween night. Her fiancé left and didn't even return to the dinner date, and then he just ghosted her. He didn't come home, she couldn't contact him, and then basically even his family had no idea where he was until a week later she saw him on his Instagram actually singing in a so-called Thai KTV pub with another girl in his arms. The word that they call is called the Siam DU. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. So anyway, because of this, she immediately called her fiancé's friend, who then blocked her. So she was really desperate, decided to try contacting with his family again, and she actually got scolded by her fiancé's family members telling her don't disturb them. It's between her and him. But she was given closure finally by her fiancé's mother, saying, you know, he has found another lady. It's best you move on. And now, here's the plot twist. She believes he's under a love spell because number one, he was never interested in this Thai KTV pub, which I think they call it the Siam Tiu. And also, he doesn't like heavy drinking and such forth. And suddenly, he's like so into this. I mean, they were supposed to get a BTO. So why the sudden vanishing act and giving her no closure, vanishing with no explanation, basically. And then even further to that, she even got a Netflix pop-up notification informing her that there is a new login from Thailand. Most likely his new Thailand partner or girlfriend, or I don't know, maybe his new fiancée. Then now, details of the new partner of her fiancé is actually a married woman in her 30s who is trying to get a divorce. And her fiancé was helping her hire a lawyer, and somehow they ended up together. And further to that, they now have matching tattoos, with the tattoos stated "My King" and "My Queen." I think the poor lady right here needs to stop stalking on his ex-fiancé already at this point. So once again, she reiterates her belief that he's under a spell and hoping to seek a counter spell by purchasing certain ritual items, and you know, which we will not show, even though she left a link there, we will not show. And users have just, you know, trying to share experience and telling her, please don't dabble in such stuff, you know, such ritual items, because usually, let's say in the event it is a real spell, it can backfire twice, even more heavily on the user. And also, lady, in case you don't know, maybe all along he does enjoy this place that you call the Siam TU, and maybe he has all along enjoyed heavy drinking, you know. It's just that even though you knew him for 10 years, but I mean, look, maybe he just wanted to move on all along, and he do not know how to explain to you his shame in telling you, to giving you closure, so he chose the vanishing act, you know, though it's not the coolest thing to do, but just, you know, the ritual thing you wanted to do, you know, as most people has advised you online, just don't do it, you know, move on and find someone better. Anyway, this Chinese female tourist surnamed Shen decided that, you know, this mural in Penang Jetty looks really nice. Even nicer if I add my own Panda mural. How dare you? That you don't just exactly put your on top of other people's works, you know. That mural.